taking a little time to examine the minuscule can sometimes turn up some surprisingly grand results. Pan is a puzzle adventure game existing as the collaborative efforts of studios Might Delight and SPELKRAFT. The tale begins one night when a lone, skybound adventurer experiences unforeseen troubles with her aircraft, causing her to crash land in a strange and unfamiliar world. Upon regaining her senses, she finds her vessel to be in stable condition, but fully aware of the work still needed for it to regain flight, she sets off into the wilds of the unusual landscape, searching for just the right equipment to set her voyage back in motion. And so, the player is called upon to guide this determined traveler by way of exploration and puzzle solving as she faces off with the curious locale that now beckons her deeper in. Gameplay here is a relatively simple feat. So simple, in fact, that the game doesn't even find the need to explain it to you. Much like any number of point-and-click adventure games, action is confined primarily to the motion of the player's mouse. Clicking around the visual landscape will alert our heroine where she is to go next, and clicking on various objects, terminals, and creatures will result in potential interactions that affect advancement of your journey. As such, the player must acquaint themselves with the world around them in order to gather items, unearth new passages, and widen their ability to explore, interact, and achieve the goal of repairing our heroine's downed vessel. On the artistic side of things, Pan's presentation is an odd little item to behold. A continuous lesson in contradiction, this game feels like a strange conglomeration of different eras and aesthetics, culminating in a unique venture very much contained to itself. While rendered and animated quite fluidly, it still bears a great resemblance to the earliest days of computer animation, with especially restricted shadings and solid geometric renders comprising most of the world. Having said this, in no way does that mean this product feels dated in any capacity. With its strict shading comes vibrant coloring reminiscent of modern pop art, and with its very rigid geometrics comes a strange sense of 80s fashion and style. These details aid in creating an otherworldly atmosphere, and with the isometric-like camera work factored in as well, it demonstrates a contented minusculistic existence, even bringing to mind the likes of a living toy box. One detail that may be a bit less pleasing to some, however, is that while the region is a wide and creative place, there is quite literally no backdrop beyond the playable map, as if there simply is no existence outside its predefined walls. Still, while some may find this off-putting, it can also serve to heighten the region's state as new and unknown. Meanwhile, the auditory presentation is an equally subtle venture. While the musical soundtrack is somewhat soft even at its loudest, it provides a beautiful, almost earthy framework to this foreign world, transitioning almost seamlessly as you drift between the various grounds that make up the terrarium-like expanse. As with so many other aspects of the game, its story is especially subdued, never reaching much complexity beyond the aforementioned premise. In fact, none of the story is stated outright in any format. While every creature that inhabits the landscape expresses itself audibly, many even verbally, none of it can be acknowledged as comprehensible dialogue at all. Nearly the entirety of the narrative is presented in the state of the environment itself, whether in regard to the nameless pilot's objective goal, or the almost haunting images of this region's forgotten past. Yet, even after every aspect of the terrain has been unearthed and examined, it seems as though a great deal has been left unsaid, as if the game itself is imploring the player to sort through the fragments alone if they intend to locate any semblance of answers. Having covered all we have thus far, one thing is made abundantly clear. Restraint is a key factor in making this game all that it is. Unfortunately, while this plays into its favor at almost every turn, the liberal application of the tactic can create a disconcerting sense of distance between the game and those who choose to venture in. A player looking for an exceptionally immersive experience could sadly find the trek to be a bit of a cold endeavor. To complicate matters further, yet another drawback of the minimalistic outstretch is, of all things, the length of the game, with a complete run-through lasting only a few hours at most. So, does this all amount to me saying that this game wasn't really worth it? Actually, my feelings are quite the contrary. Despite its shortcomings, and let's face it, every game has some, I'm truly glad I was able to experience this title. Perhaps it isn't the grandiose journey that many other games show themselves to be, but who's to say it needed to be in the first place? Without the length and scope that many other products boast, it still manages to excel in the facets it does contain. Those facets, its beauty, its atmosphere, its simple, relaxing fun, are merits when applied here, resulting in a beautiful, endearing, and entertaining piece of artwork. Pan Pan may be a smaller delivery, but within its walls exists much life, simply waiting to be ranged over.